Hi, my name is Renee Walker, and this is the website that I created for user interface design. This is an online gallery and store for some art that I have created over the years that I like to do in my spare time when I am not working or working on a master's degree. So these are some older projects, but hopefully I'll have some new things in the works. I did this project on my own because my work schedule right now keeps me in a lot of different time zones. It makes it really hard to coordinate, and I felt like I would not be able to be a good partner to somebody else. So 100% of this is my work. The tool that I use to create this website is called Wix.com, and I have this tool pulled up right here on this other tab. This shows me the current sites that I have built with Wix, and it will allow me to go here, choose this site, and edit it. And I can show you on here some of the tools that are available. Oops, let's get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to choose to edit site because I already have the live site pulled out. So I like this website for the most part as a tool to create something. It's free, so that's nice. There are additional paid features which I may look into doing later. If you're familiar with Homestead, which is an older website building tool, it's kind of similar from a drag and drop perspective. It's pretty easy to use. There are a lot of templates. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. There are a lot of templates and stock images available. You can build your own website from scratch. There are a lot of different features to use. As you can see here, it's loading all of these widgets. It's really easy to make a small change and then publish it immediately if you have one little tweak to make to a layout or one quick change that you want to see what that looks like in your finished project. I had 2 users take a look at my website, and while I was talking to them on the phone and they were looking at the website and made comments, I could immediately go in, make the change, hit publish. They refreshed their browser window and they could see the change immediately. So that was really nice to get sort of that instant gratification. The downsides of this website or this tool are some of the features are really hard to locate or access. If you are choosing, for example, a specific type of gallery, the galleries don't have names. So once you change it, or if you want to duplicate it across your site, you kind of have to copy or paste or duplicate it and then change the content within it to make sure that you get continuity, and I found that to be kind of aggravating. As you can see here, there are a lot of layout lines and some stuff over here. I've got all of my pages and my content over here, but some of these things, like if I click here and I make a change on this part, if it's just like a little change, or maybe over here to line something up, it's hard to see because of all of this stuff that keeps popping up, and it's really hard to grab the right item. So like here it was telling me change the background or change this page. It's hard to click on it, and there's just a lot that pops up everywhere. The other thing that I encountered, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later, is that there really isn't configuration control. So actually I'm going to undo what I just did there. Okay, so I can't show you different versions of this. Whatever I have is what I have. Once I publish it, that's it. It overwrites everything else that I had previously, so I can't store any temporary versions. I don't particularly care for that because if I really mess something up, it's really hard to go back. It might be part of the paid content. I don't know, because I didn't do that at this point in time. So here are some tools. You can choose your menus. You can fix your background. You can add a whole bunch of different things here. So for example, it'll give you these sort of set options. You can use your own images, or you can use images that they have within Wix. That's kind of nice. You can add in different types of galleries. I do have a lot of visual content on this website, so it was nice to have so many galleries with different layouts. I picked the best one that I could find, but it doesn't have all of the features I want, so that might be something that I would pay for later. You can do all kinds of different stuff. You can do animations, make different sorts of buttons, all kinds of stuff. There's also, oops, this is going to take a little while. You can do some back-end stuff. You can look at some of these other things. Okay, so I'm going to go back home. Go back to my site here. Oops, this one. Okay. There we go. All right, so this is the live version of this site. This is my home page. There's just a little bit to scroll here. I do have a login section at the top, and we can go through each of these pages. So on the home page, I just have basically my logo here. This is me, and I decided to add an end of semester sale. You can't actually purchase anything, but if you want to tell me great job, that's fine with me too. And then I added this featured item here, and this will link you to the shop. Again, here, this will link you to the shop, and this will click and send you over to that item. I have an about screen. This will tell you some information about me and my background. And then if you want to look at some of my previous projects, I have a box gallery. This contains music boxes, jewelry boxes without music, one cigar humidor, and I have a little box that contains some cards. As you hover over each item, it will give you descriptions, and it will tell you how many photos are in each gallery. I have some other projects that are not box related, some drawings, other small collages. I have a musical mobile, and it was really nice that I could add a video. I would like to have that in the gallery, but I couldn't find a way to do that. I have a shop, and here are the items that I have for sale with prices. And then for some of these items, because I do a lot of custom work or commissioned items, I will give people the option to do that as well. So they could choose kind of this generic music box, and then we could talk about the things that they want in that. And there is a contact page, and this will go directly to me. This will also take me to my Facebook page, which is kind of similar to this. I have been using it in the past, but it's really not a good forum for a shop. I don't know, it's for people to follow me and see what stuff I'm posting next and get live updates. Okay, so some of the stuff that I looked at related to this class, the first thing that I went through was doing all of the Gestalt principles. And so I wanted to use layering of objects to create kind of a foreground and background. So you see this darker blue background with some jeweled stuff in the back, and then it's layering in front. And so you can kind of see that this music box art thing is right in the front. And again, here, this is in front of this box over here. It's in front of this. And so that was really nice for me to consider that while I was building my layout and have a really conscious idea that that was something that I was doing. I also wanted to create some separation between items. So I have a separation between this featured item section and the header section. As far as the color scheme goes, obviously I chose these colors because for the background that you see here with this jeweled stuff and the star background, those are from my pieces of art that I created. And so I wanted to use a color scheme that kind of went with these background things, or that are colors that I use frequently. And I chose this bright color up here in the header so that it would pop out as something that people wanted to look at, because there was a lot of contrast between this and the background color. I also chose gray and dark gray as my hover colors. Wix is really nice because it allowed me to choose different color schemes. So if I go back here to the editor and I want to change something here, again, you see there are a lot of options here. I can change in my design this is the one that I have picked, and it shows me that. But I can choose different colors. And here it will show me, this is the color scheme that I have chosen. And so it was really nice to be able to remain within this whole color scheme. And you can kind of see that it's consistent throughout the website. So I don't actually want to change that. The other thing that I tried to do in terms of the Gestalt principles is specifically, oops, I'm in the wrong one here, in my shop. I added boxes around each of these so that you could see that this price and this title go with this particular item. I wasn't able to do it in my gallery. I might be able to change that, but I used some proximity here to show that Natalie Music Box is this item right here, and then there's more white space in between, and again these items are close to each other to indicate that these go together. This is the title for this picture. I also tried to keep everything the same size between this page and my other projects page, so that as you're scrolling through, I don't know why my computer's really slow today, I'm sorry. All right, anyway, they're the same size. It's not loading for some reason, sorry about that. So the other thing I considered, in addition to the Gestalt principles that we talked about in class, was doing some general heuristics. And so the biggest one that I wanted to take care of was making sure that the user knew what was happening at any point in time. So if they're hovering, it's a light gray. If they have clicked on it and that's where they're currently located, it's a dark gray. I had them reversed, and when I had somebody take a look at it, they found that confusing. And then, you know, when I went back and looked, I said, oh yeah, let me swap them. Okay, here. Okay, so you can see that the layout is the same. Everything is the same size, same font. All right, back to heuristics. If I were to purchase something, I go to my shop. All right, so I want to buy this. This will show me the music box. There's some thumbnails down here that will show me the different features. And if I add this to my cart, okay, I can look at my cart, but also it shows me in the top that there is an item in my cart. And then I can continue shopping. Oh, I have discovered an error there. That should actually take me back to the shop. There we go. Okay. Anyway, that's something that I can go back and fix. The other thing that I did to try and help users understand where they are within the context of the site is in the galleries. So within each item, it's really hard to show one music box in a single picture because it's got 6 sides plus an inside, and then it does musical stuff and show close-ups. So for any one particular item, I have usually 6 to 10 photos for each, and for some I even have videos. So there isn't a way within the gallery to add these thumbnails down here. Click on this again. So what I did is I added on each one 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 3 of 7, so that the user would understand how many pictures were in each gallery and which picture they were on at any given time. Okay, so here, for example, you see 1 of 7, so I know that there are 7 pictures within this gallery. And if I click on it, it will give me some description of this particular item, and again, it shows me here 1 of 7. As I scroll through, it'll update 2 of 7, 3 of 7, so on and so forth. That you can see on this particular box, this is my background for the site, and this top portion here is kind of the logo section, so I wanted to be consistent with the colors. I like the color scheme of this box. So I tried to give a lot of white space in between. I didn't want to have a lot of clutter. I feel like the design of the product is already kind of cluttered, so I didn't want to have a lot of flash stuff. I didn't want to have a lot of animation. One thing that I did do specifically for this one is I have a video, and this will take me, it will and it doesn't need to take you to another website, so that's kind of easy to use. For future work, this is one thing that I actually would change. I wish this video was part of this gallery, or at least that I could have it in both places, so that as people were clicking through, the video would maybe be the last thing at the end. Here, it's just not possible. I really would love to have thumbnails at the bottom here so that people can see the entire group of pictures and maybe just click on the ones that they want to look at, rather than clicking through everything to be able to get to what they want. I could not find a way to do that. I could do it in the store, but the store gallery is set up differently. Again, I don't know if this is paid content or not, but it's definitely something that I would like to implement. I think the other thing that I would like to implement is moving this from a regular website into having a mobile platform. I tried to open it on my phone. I have an Android, and it did not look very good, and there were certain things that just straight up did not work. The other thing that I will do is I'll enable being able to make a purchase in the shop. Right now, this is a paid thing, so if I wanted to go to my cart, I think this functionality could be a little bit better, but if I wanted to check out, it won't let me. I can do a test order, which is kind of fun, but I don't need to do that for this demonstration. There are a couple other like small cosmetic changes, but honestly, overall, I'm really happy with the way that this came out. I like the tool that I used. I think that I would continue to use this again. I think overall it came out pretty well. It looks nice. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to do, this is I think the last feature that I implemented, is on this home screen. Again, this is going back to sort of the layering for the Gestalt principles as well as the user understanding. Is there's a button on the bottom that's going to take me into the shop, but when you hover over it, it highlights that button to show that not only that there is an action that can happen from that, but that something different has happened, and it sort of darkens that. It doesn't want to show it to me, right? Oh, okay, here we go. So right here, as long as I hover over this, it will show me something different is happening here. I will email you the website for this. It's right up here. This is the only version that I have. There is no configuration control here, so I can't send you any previous version of this, because once it's published, that's it. It's live, and you go forward with yourself on that. But if you want to go back, I can send you the link as well to my previous presentation that does show you the partially implemented site, and you can see all of the changes I made. I changed the menu options. I made fewer of them so that it's less confusing for users, and there's just not quite as much to look at, and obviously added a lot of content. So I hope that you like this, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.